Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I want to do a video where I talk about new releases that are coming out that I'm super excited about. These ones are just February releases. I thought it would be a nice idea to do releases throughout the whole year, so like a wider spectrum, and also it kind of allows me to talk about more books that are coming out this year, because I think most of the time I don't really focus on what's coming out this year, but I wanted to do that more this year because it's just kind of nice, I guess, to look forward to stuff. So yeah, let's just get into this video. So the first one I want to talk about is Mark My Words by Mohammed Khan. The story follows this girl called Dua, who is really inquisitive and she loves journalism, and she wants to set up a newspaper that will rival the other one that's already set up within her school. And she kind of rubs some people up the wrong way because she's always trying to find the truth, and obviously some people don't want the truth to come out. So then when these kids get in trouble for selling drugs, she finds out who it really is, and she's willing to expose them because she knows that's the right thing to do. This book is coming out Feb 25th. I'm filming this on Feb 24th, so it will be out the next day. But by the time I put this up, you guys will be able to get it and it will be out. I love Mohammed Khan's books. His first book, I'm Thunder, is one I literally fell in love with and I talk about all the time on this channel. So I think this is just like an auto buy for me. I'm not even gonna think about like the story, but the story does sound amazing. I think I love these books that are kind of like about social justice, where people don't just sit and watch things happen. They go out and they make some noise about it. And also I just love the way Mohammed Khan writes about these things. They're important, and also his main characters are Muslim, and that's so important for me because it's nice to see yourself represented in a book. And I'm Thunder, his other book, was the first book that I ever read that kind of gave a different narrative to Muslim girls. It wasn't that like normal, like, oh, Muslim girl was looking to be with a white boy, blah blah blah. Like, it was about a Muslim girl just trying to find herself, which I really appreciated and found really rewarding to read. And it was the first, like, I think ebook that I also read that was just one I actually didn't put down, because ebooks aren't necessarily always for me, but this is the first one that I pushed through, and now I'm much more like confident, I guess, at reading ebooks, and I enjoy them more because that physical aspect of a book is something special, but sometimes you just can't have that and you need to read an ebook. So I'm super excited for this one. I feel like when it comes to releases, I don't like to be super excited often, just because if it isn't as good as you expect, and you feel disappointed. But this one I don't even mind being excited because I know it's going to be good. Okay, so the next book I want to talk about is The Project by Courtney Summers. You may already have heard of Courtney Summers because she wrote Sadie, which literally took the reading community by storm. It was a book about kind of like with a different aspect, was like a podcast kind of laid out theme, and oh my god, I was in love with that. I listened to an audiobook and it's a perfect fit for an audiobook kind of read. This one is kind of different, but I guess kind of still has that whole mystery aspect to it. So this one follows this girl called Lo, who lost her parents when she was really young and is currently living with her aunt, and her sister joins this kind of club project thing called the Unity Project, and she kind of susses that there's something wrong. And when this man comes to Lo claiming that this project killed his son, she like wants to warn her sister because she just obviously wants her sister involved in something that's killing people, like as we all wouldn't, and she wants to get to the bottom of what it is. It kind of gives me a vibe that this Unity Project may be like a cult kind of thing, and I love a mystery. Like, I'm not the kind of person who can pick up on plot very well. Like, I don't see the plot twist coming, so I think I don't even like, all mysteries are for me. I know some people are like really good at guessing, so they're not really the biggest fan of mysteries, or some people can guess and they like that, but I just can't guess, so I love them and they always take me by surprise. This one came out at the start of the month on the 2nd of February, so that will be available for you guys to go get if you would like to. And for any of these, comment down below what you think and if you want to read them and if you think you'd enjoy them. Okay, so the next one I want to talk about is the one on here that I think is the only sequel, and that is the Desolations of Devils Ark. This is the, I think, 6th book. I honestly do not know how many books are in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series, but this is in that series. I feel like this series is just so different because of the whole photography element of it. Like the pictures, it's weird, like these pictures are not taken for this book specifically, but they kind of fit so well, and I think that's just amazing. Like, I feel like sometimes, even though I'm not a kid anymore and I don't really read picture books, I still appreciate a picture now and then, you know, to break up the words. So this book is perfect. Like, the pictures kind of break up the story and kind of, I want to visualize stuff myself, and so much of it is left to my imagination, but then the pictures kind of aid that imagination. I feel like it's just the perfect amount of imagination and pictures, and it fits so well. The first book, if you haven't read it, is just amazing, and you should read this whole series. You know, I feel like as series get longer, people tend to not want to read them because they don't want to have to continue the whole thing, but this is definitely a series I would advise, you know, picking up, because I feel like you'd like it. It follows this boy who has just lost, like, someone in his family. Honestly, I can't even remember who he loses in his family, but he loses someone in his family, and that causes him and his father to go on a trip, you know, kind of just get away from everything. And that's when he meets Miss Peregrine and her peculiar children. They have like cool powers, and this book made me wish I had cool powers, but I don't. So that's okay though. And yeah, it's just so whimsical, but it still deals and talks about real life issues. It just mixes the two together, and it's a perfect combination for a story. This comes out on the 23rd, and I'm just excited. Okay, the next one is one I am super hyped about because this author just does such a good job of writing dystopians, but I feel like this one is kind of not a dystopian. This is more, or maybe sci-fi, I would say. This one is called Game Changer by Neil Schusterman, and he's the author of Scythe, which I'm sure so many of you have heard of, and but also one of my favourites, which is Dry. And this book is basically about this boy, Ash, who gets hit on the football field, and he gets hit into another dimension. You know, like, I was like, whoa, this sounds so cool. And it's all about him having to navigate and realising that he's in this dimension. And this author just knows how to write stories that are so different from what I've ever read before or that I thought of, but are just such good ideas. And I feel like it's always just kind of analysing underneath, like the underlying themes, analysing how society is now and how some things could get worse in the future if we don't kind of monitor them and keep an eye on where we draw the line of morality. Like, is this moral? Is this against my moral code kind of thing? So I am super excited for this one. And I think, honestly, if you're a fan of Scythe, this kind of sounds not the same by any means, but kind of goes along the same lines. I'm excited, as I'm going to say for every single one of these books, because I feel the same about all of them. Okay, so the next one I want to talk about is the only one on here that is from a different author, and I'm super excited to read because I love myself a good mystery, and I really haven't been reading enough lately. So that is The Survivors by Jane Harper. This book follows this boy called Kieran, who has really struggled in life and feels kind of out of place in a way. Because when he was younger, his brother Finn went missing, and that's created a rift in his family, and he doesn't really feel very connected to his parents and all that. And then when he comes to visit his parents one day, his brother's body is discovered. Like, I just feel like when someone goes missing in a book, and probably in real life as well, even though I personally wouldn't know, and I'm so glad I don't, but when someone goes missing, when the body is eventually found, especially if it's like a really long time, it can obviously cause a rift in the family. And I really interested to find out why he went missing, what happened. And from the, I could be making this up and I don't know for sure, but from the way that like blurb was written, I really feel like it has something to do with Kieran. I don't know, he may be innocent. I'm just like making him guilty without reading this book, but the way the author described it kind of made me feel like he has something to do with it. And I feel like that is why maybe he feels so uncomfortable around his parents, because he's hiding something. But who knows? So those are like the 5 releases that I've seen that I'm most excited about. Remember to comment down any you're excited to read, because I feel like depending on what genre you read will depend on what kind of you're excited for. And remember to give this a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!